Hello everybody, Carolyn here. Today we are doing a video that is, I feel like at least long waited for me, but a lot of y'all have been asking me about like when I'm gonna do this for a while now. So today I'm going to be reorganizing my entire Monsta X collection and Wonho collection, and I'm a little stressed about it, not gonna lie. This is a huge project that I've kind of been putting off, and to be honest, I still want to do some things to it, and I'll like kind of discuss that as we go through this video, that I just won't be able to do today. But we can, however, move Wonho into his very own binder, which I know y'all have been wanting me to do this for so long. So yeah, we're gonna go through all of my binders. If you don't know, I currently have 4 binders from Monsta X, 4 normal, not A5 size binders. So they're all large binders. I have 2 4-inch binders and 2 3-inch binders. We're probably gonna have to look at all of them today, but I decided to start with this one. This is my second Monsta X binder. It's like the Fantasia through, what does this go through? Gambler era, I think. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. I also, since a lot of this video is literally just going to be me like taking things out of a binder and putting them in a different binder, I do have some other things I need to do, but this is going to be a large majority of this video. I decided to answer a bunch of Q&A questions. So I asked you guys on my Instagram, go follow my collection Instagram, to ask me questions. And so I have all of the questions right here, and we're going to go through them. So thank you if you asked me questions. And yeah, I used to be better at doing Q&As. I haven't done a Q&A in so long though. Like I can't even tell you when the last time I did a Q&A was. It's probably been like at least a year. So let's go ahead and get started. I hope that even if you don't like Monsta X, like you're interested to listen to the Q&A questions. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of Wonho's stuff out of this binder, and I'm going to go through and take all of his Obsession. Is Blue Letter in this binder? I cannot remember. Blue Letter is in this binder. So I'm going to take Obsession out of my other binder, and then we're going to put everything in the blue binder, and hopefully it won't be completely full once we do that. Because if so, I don't know what we're gonna do. We might have to pause the video and continue at a different day. But the first question that I will answer is how I'm liking A5 binders so far. So I guess I will answer that. So if you don't know, recently I moved a couple groups into A5 binders, and I was pretty skeptical of doing that at first, honestly, because I don't know. I think I was most worried about space. Space, I think, is a big worry all the time for me for my collection, because to be honest, having like 13 large binders like this is a lot. And I really didn't think like that until I moved last August. And I had to move all my binders. Like thankfully, the place I moved like to, like moving here, is this all Wonho stuff? Is this really all the Monstas? They have so much stuff, and for what? These are even like considered easier eras too to collect. Oh my gosh, these holo cards. Sorry, I'm getting very distracted. Yeah, I overall really like the A5 binders, and it's to the point where I'm kind of like there were a couple collections that recently I've been like super unmotivated to collect for them. And the thought of having them in a large binder like this was super daunting. I was just like not the biggest fan of doing that. I found this blue binder on Amazon. I'll go ahead and link it down below if you're interested. But this blue binder that I'm gonna be using for Wonho is a 3-ring, 3-inch binder. I'm hoping I won't need anything more than 3 inches, but we'll see. I think that like he's gonna have his next comeback that he's working on right now, and then I think he's gonna be enlisting after it, which is something that like I feel like I've been talking about pretty casually. I know it's like very upsetting to some people, and like I'm gonna be upset about it, trust me, but yeah. So I overall like A5 binders. I feel like they put a lot less pressure on you to collect everything for everyone, because to be honest, if I didn't have A5 binders, I think there are some groups I would have downsized. And like, I feel like after a while, you get to a point when you're collecting where you're just like, this collection isn't really moving as much anymore, or I just don't feel super motivated. And like, something you can do is kind of just change up the way you store it and collect it. Like, honestly, I go through my binders sometimes and I'm just like, let me just move things around a little bit just to get me excited about it again. And if that doesn't work, then I will downsize it. I'll be like, look, this is it for this. I still need to put white papers behind those message cards. I keep forgetting, but I will do it at some point. Somebody said, have you ever thought about reducing or stopping collecting? Oh, 100%. I have, right before COVID happened, actually, I was getting, if you were around on the channel during that time, I was getting super into going to concerts over collecting. I tell my friends all the time, I'm like, I think if COVID hadn't happened, then I would be collecting like 3 groups right now. Like, I was so close. Like, if you go back to some of my older videos, I wasn't really collecting as much as I collect now. Why are these not going in? I wasn't collecting as much as I collect now. Ooh, also I was watching my sorting photocard video and I was like, why did I set the 6 pocket up like this? Why did I set it up in like the weirdest way possible? But yeah, I definitely have considered it before. With concerts starting up again, I'm kind of getting that feeling back. And that's not saying I'm only going to collect 3 groups moving forward, but I think you can kind of tell from the way my channel has been so far this year that I'm really trying to prioritize like alts over everyone else. Because I've been really enjoying collecting fewer people thoroughly for quite some time now, instead of collecting everything for everyone. I just think that there's too much going on in K-pop now to do that. I mean, if you can afford to do that, that must be nice for you. But I can't, so yeah. But I don't know, there's just something fun about like having every single pop for Wonho's albums. And like, there was a time, I don't remember if this was during COVID or before COVID, but I wanted to buy more for like Monsta X and Wonho, like ult. Well, Wonho was still in Monsta X at the time, but like for Monsta X. And I wanted to buy more things for like Infinite were ults at the time still. And I was like, I really can't buy all this extra merch stuff because I'm too busy buying like everybody's comeback. And it just wasn't fun for me anymore. And so while I have definitely grown my collection since COVID, because let's be honest, like, I got bored during COVID. I started collecting so much during COVID. I started collecting Kihyun during COVID. I started collecting Yeonjun again during COVID. I started collecting Jungwoo of NCT during COVID. I started collecting Stray Kids again during COVID. So for Stray Kids, I collected them twice because I collected Jisung and then I decided to collect Chan and Lino instead. And then I decided to collect OT8. So like, my collections have changed so much over the past couple of years, but I think that like I've gotten to a point, and like I watch so many other creators as well, and I'm like, I absolutely love thorough collections. When somebody is like, I have all the pobs for my bias from this era, I'm like, that looks so satisfying, and that looks like something I want to do. Thank God Wonho doesn't do bookmarks anymore for his Highline Store pobs. Like, look at these Highline Store pobs. I mean, they're cute, and I'm glad that I found pockets that fit them so perfectly. One of you guys actually recommended these to me, so like, God bless your soul, honestly, because I had no idea how to store them. But yeah, so that I have thought about it before. I still think about it sometimes. I'm constantly, like you guys know, filming sorting photocard videos and lots of photocard content. I do think about my collections pretty regularly, especially like with tours happening again. I want to go to tours. I want to go to concerts, and you know, I'm gonna be prioritizing at least this summer, because my top ones are Monsta X and Stray Kids, and Stray Kids is like, ticket sales go on this weekend, and so it might take me a little longer to buy like a group that I enjoy, but they're not like my all-time favorite group. You know what I mean? But of course, for Monsta X and Wonho and Stray Kids, I try to collect as thoroughly as possible, and I want to start collecting more thoroughly for Stray Kids, and I want to collect OT6 IVE, and I want to work on that collection. So groups where I only collect one member and they have like 2 photo cards are gonna kind of, I think, be a lower priority just for the time being. So yeah. How do you recycle all the leftover paper boxes of the job itself? Well, honestly, a lot of the times I will try to reuse as much as possible. Like, I keep all of the bubble wrap from any box that I get. I try to keep as much as possible to reuse for like group orders and stuff, and I keep boxes. I'm sure like if you've ever bought in a lot of stuff from me or have joined my group order and like had a bunch of albums come, you probably noticed they were in like a sub K box or like a K-pop Market 01 box or something like that. I try to reuse as much as possible, but my apartment complex does have a recycle room, which is really nice because you can just like throw it all down the recycle chute on the floor that you live on, because I do not live on the first floor. I live pretty high up, and so it's really nice to be able to like just not have to take all that stuff downstairs, so I can just like drop it in the recycle room in the correct slots. I'd love to hear about your major actually. Would you really? So a lot of people ask me about school, so I guess I can explain that because it's kind of confusing too. Like, I confuse my own university, honestly. Let me real quick get the No Limit forward binder so we can get the obsession stuff out of there, and then I'll be right back. Can I just say how incredibly happy I am that these like other 3 eras have not taken up that much space. Like, I really want this to be a binder that's gonna last Wonho. Like, I don't want to have like 3 Wonho binders, like I will, but I would rather not do that if possible. If you don't actually know, I am currently working on my 3rd degree. My 3rd university degree. No, I don't recommend it. It's very expensive. The amount of schooling I've done is very expensive. The amount of people who have been like, oh my gosh, you must love university. Like, I mean, it's all right. Oh, I was taking a thumbnail the other day and I never reorganized it. We will have to do that. A little back end information. Sometimes I'll like reorganize things so that the thumbnail looks better. So this is my 3rd degree. My 1st degree is a bachelor's in science in animal science. My 2nd degree is a public health nutrition master's. So I do have an undergraduate degree and also a master's degree. And then the degree I'm working on right now is what did I even do here? What is this? How did this happen? Hold on. This is for Shape of Love, which I did a whole video on that, so go check that video out as well. How is Voyager in the middle of Shape of Love? The degree I'm working on right now is a bachelor's in science in human dietetics, which is like human nutrition. It's like the next level up from being a nutritionist because you have to take an exam and you have to do clinicals for it. But like, Caroline, what the heck? So when I was first applying to university, I have always had like a passion for animals, and I've also had a passion for nutrition. And I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I met with the advisors for the animal science department for the university I ended up going to, and I absolutely loved him and I loved the department, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go into the animal field. I've been volunteering at animal shelters and veterinary hospitals like my entire life. Like, I love it so much. So I'm gonna be a veterinarian. Needless to say, I did not want to be a veterinarian. I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian. On the first day of school, in my first intro class, one of my professors was like, only a third of you are gonna make it to vet school. And I was like, well, it's gonna be me. Like, I'm gonna make it to vet school. I wanna go to vet school. And I got to the end of my sophomore year and I just was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I was in my advisor's office, and to be honest, we did not get along very well, me and my advisor, for my pre-vet track. And I was like, you know what? I just don't think this is what I want to do. Like, I just don't think this is what I want to do. And so then she, of course, she's like, well, what are you going to do then? And I was like, I'm going to switch to a nutrition concentration and be an animal nutritionist and kind of go back to that whole my two passions were animal and nutrition. So then she was like, all right, have fun with that. And I was like, okay, bye. And then my next advisor, I like walked into her office that day because I already knew her, like crying. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And she was like, oh my gosh, let me help you. And so she was my advisor for the next couple years. I went to my department head and I was like, listen, I need to change advisors. And he was like, it's cool. And then I ended up graduating because at that point, I was like, I've pretty much finished everything. And she was like, you should just go through and get your master's in nutrition and go be an animal nutritionist. Well, it turns out that's really difficult to do without going to vet school. Considering how little nutrition they teach vets in vet school, and I say this as someone who has had some of their best friends go to vet school. Like, I was so deep into the pre-vet veterinary community, like even after I switched my focus, that I know so many people who went to vet school. Yeah, apparently it's a thing you can't do. They changed it, so. So then I took some dietetics courses while I was in my first undergrad, and I decided to come back to school to get my dietetics degree. I want to work in a hospital. I do love the hospital environment. I feel like not many people say that, but I do enjoy a hospital setting and hospital environment. A big focus of mine, like a big passion of mine, is like diabetes and chronic illnesses. And I also have a certification in plant-based nutrition that I got one summer. So when I'm like changing my diet as someone who is plant-based, I promise I know what I'm talking about. I promise I do plenty of research on it between all of my degrees and things. So that's what I do. I am still gonna be a dietetics major after this year, because if you don't know, I am transferring universities. I'm just transferring to a different program because I don't like the program I'm in right now. If I could go back to the program where I got my first degree, I would. But it was in New England, and New England college is just very expensive if you don't live there. It's just very expensive, and that's why I just ended up graduating instead of staying there an extra, I think I would have had to stay there an extra 3 years or something. And I just didn't want to do that. My parents were like, we're not gonna help you pay for that. So that's my major. I did a lot of the nutrition courses when I was getting my first bachelor's degree. So right now I just do a lot of like organic chemistry, and I'm in a financial studies class, and I'm in, or accounting, I guess is probably a better way to say it, an accounting class. And I'm in statistics, and I'm not in anything exciting this semester. But yeah, I got my master's from this university as well. It was just online, because yeah, I really enjoyed getting my master's from this school, but I just don't think the bachelor's life was for me here. I feel like I talked a long time about my personal life, and I apologize. Do you have any Polaroids? Do you want to get any Polaroids? The only Polaroid I have, which I don't think you would count this as a Polaroid, is the like winter card I got from my first Wonho fan sign. I mean, technically it's a Polaroid, but yeah, this is the only thing I have. Personally, I've never really been into the Polaroid community, mostly because like I understand why they're priced the way they are, but I just don't feel like spending that much money on a Polaroid. Like, I just don't want to spend the amount of money Polaroids go for on Polaroids. Yeah, I have no interest in Polaroids, honestly. I would rather collect cute selfie cards. Favorite Gigi comeback this year? 100% Ive. It was A-Pink until Ive made their comeback, and I absolutely adore Love Dive. I love everything about that comeback. It's literally like, I'm so happy collecting OT6. Like, I'm having such a fun time with it so far, and I don't find it stressful at all. I've had a lot of people ask me questions about collecting OT6, and I have really enjoyed it so far. So yeah, I really like it. Is there anyone else that you want to collect? Honestly, right now I'm pretty happy with my collections. I have thoughts of collecting Chewan from Le Seraphim, the new Hive girl group, / Source Music girl group, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it yet. I don't plan on pre-ordering their album because I want to listen to the album, and yeah, but I do want to collect Cheon. I think that would be really, really fun. Yeah, do I have like a, well, maybe I won't separate Obsession and this right now. I have to do fillers for this stuff still, but, okay, this is definitely about as full as I thought it was going to be. This is kind of what we're at right now. Honestly, it's not, oh, you can't even see that. Okay. It's honestly not that bad. Like, I was expecting it to be worse. Yeah. I was expecting it to be a lot worse. And I also already did, if we go back to Obsession, oh my gosh, don't get caught, please. I just spent so long putting everything away. I did already go through and put placeholders for all of Wonho's pobs from this era. So yeah, obviously like these are pobs, but besides those. So I have everything filled out for Wonho. I have some things coming from Neokyo, some things coming from Bai. So there will be things coming, but these are all of his pobs for this era. If you ever see the Tower Records cards going around, let me know, because I have yet to see them. Like, I've never seen them for sale. So if you ever see those are like high priority for me. Anything else, like, I'm not that worried about. I mean, I guess I'd be worried about with fans, but not like that much, honestly. Because I mean, everything becomes available eventually. Some cards coming from like group orders I joined and stuff still too. So yeah, that's the Wonho binder. I'm really happy he's in his own binder. I can't believe how much stuff he has. Like, I've never seen all of his stuff in the same place before. Did this really just all pop out? How do you stay motivated with collecting? I find old collections hard to want to finish. I definitely find it harder when a group doesn't make a comeback. I would say like my biggest motivation for finishing a collection or catching up with the collection, I guess. Oh my gosh, do I really have to take all this out? So annoying. My like main motivation for catching up with the collection, a new comeback announcement. Like when that happens, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to finish the previous collection, which isn't how you need to think. The only thing that like for my Lino collection, for example, because y'all know that I started collecting all of his older cards after No Easy. My main motivation for doing older cards was like, and like Changyu, and I'm working on his older cards right now, is the fact that like I want to be caught up so I can focus on new collections. So yeah, that's my main motivation. I've never really picked up a collection where a group isn't active. Like everything that I've ever picked up, the group has been active. I've never, which isn't like you can't do that, like you can do whatever you want, honestly, but yeah, that's just never been something that I have done. Number one, Wonho used to have like 5 pobs. I mean, these are Tower Records. These are they Tower Records? I think so. Yeah, they are. They are Tower Records. And then these are with fans. But like, this was all of his pobs. Like how? For Love Sin 1, that was all we had. So yeah, that's it for the Wonho binder. We do still have stuff to do though. So let's go to my first Monsta X binder because that one needs help. Well, actually, first let's look and see what the situation is in the other 2 binders that we just took stuff out of. So we can mentally think about what we want to do about the first binder, because the first binder needs help. So we have to do that next. So we took quite a bit out of this binder. I definitely feel comfortable adding a lot more to this. It's just a matter of what I want to add to this. I don't really want to go put No Limit in this binder. I think I want to move something from the first binder to this one, maybe, but we don't have anything else that's ever going to need to go into these collections unless I somehow end up getting, I have Key's Love Killer broadcast cards. If I ever end up getting his Fantasia broadcast cards, which like I'd only want the Flower Crown one, or his One of a Kind era ones, which is very tempting. because one of them is him in this outfit. I would really like to have that card. Oh, it'd be so nice to put on this page too. Anyways, the only thing I'm ever gonna add in here is like 1 or 2 more cards, like nothing insane. So, okay, this is now No Limit, Voyager, and Shape of Love. And I want to keep this as is just because it's still really thick. Gosh, am I gonna be able to fit? I really wanted to fit Shape of Love in here, and then I wanted to fit the Next Era in here as well. And I don't know if that's gonna happen, honestly. Some people wanted me to move Kihyun into the Wonho binder, but I don't think I want to put him in the Wonho binder. I think I want to leave the Wonho binder just for Wonho, so we'll see. Maybe we'll move Voyager into the No Limit binder, or the Fantasia forward binder. All right, so this binder is stuffed and it needs help. So this binder right now is everything from Monsta X's earlier eras, including my like edition of Changyun, which, like, fun fact, I got both of these cards in the mail the other day, which means I have both of them for the next sorting photo card video, which is coming out this weekend, which is so fun. This page is gonna be done. So fun, oh my gosh. I don't want to move any of this stuff out of this binder. I thought about moving Follow out. I don't know, I kind of want to keep Follow in this binder. I also had thoughts of moving Wonho and Kihyun's Japanese cards into an A5, but Wonho has 5 Japanese cards. But I guess if I put those in, I don't even know, 8, 16, 24, I have 36 cards total, including these Kihyun ones, which I would just continue Kihyun's collection. I need to replace these with white sleeves. I don't have another A5 right now. Like, I don't have an A5 binder I could put them in. What would you say is your next favorite groups after your alts? So after my alts, which are Monsta X, Wonho, and Stray Kids right now, I would say my next favorite groups for boy groups are probably 17, NCT, and BTS. No, I think that's it. 17, NCT, and BTS are my next favorite boy groups. Next favorite girl groups would be Twice, IVE, and Red Velvet. This page was for Wonho's Japanese comeback, which I actually did start working on it recently, so heck yeah. But I had thoughts of moving this to an A5 binder. I wonder, this doesn't grow super quickly. I'm honestly shocked at how long it's been since Monsta X have had a Japanese comeback, to be honest. It might be a good idea to put this in an A5 because these cards are smaller anyway, so it's kind of weird that they live here. I've just been thinking recently, because I've been enjoying A5s, I've been thinking about like what else I could put in an A5. I thought about putting ATs in there. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I've also thought about putting NCT in there, and then I realized that was a stupid idea because their collection grows way too quickly for that. Man, am I ever gonna find these last 4 Tutocom cards? Literally losing my mind over these clamping cards. I need to start looking for them again soon. Or maybe we'll just give up because the Tutocom collection is never expanding. Do we move the special cards? If we move the special cards into the other, that's really not that much that we'd be moving. Well, I guess I would move Tutocom as well. Where's Wonho's Tutocom stuff? Oh, it's right here. All these green sleeves. How do I make this look better so that we don't have 3 sad Wonho cards on the same page? Because his Tutocom collection ended there. Oh, there was a question about like my most expensive photo cards, and they're in this binder, so maybe I should go for that. Which photo card was the hardest to get and which is the most expensive one? The most expensive photo card, like I said, probably lives in this binder. And I think it's, I don't remember exactly which one it is, but it's one of these 4 cards. These are broadcast cards from Beautiful Era, and then this one is from the Clan. And then these are 2 like photo card binder ones. So Monsta X did their like annual fan con thing last night at like 2 a.m. I literally fell asleep at 12, which never happens. I'm always up until 2 these days. And I woke up at 1:55 and was like, Oh my gosh, FanCon. So I ended up buying a bunch of stuff, but you know those like Photocard binders that they have for sale? I'll go ahead and post a picture of this year's ones. These are Wonho's cards from both of those. This is from the Connect tour, I think. And then this is from We Are Here. Yeah, We Are Here in the Connect. This card is fan made, but I think it's really cute. It's a Juhan and Wonho. Yeah, I'm gonna fill this with white sleeves. I haven't gotten any special Wonho cards in a while, and it's not because I haven't seen them, because well actually I got that Fan Cafe winner card from Blue Letter Era recently, but it really wasn't a very expensive card. It was less than those 4 cards I pointed out. And I didn't buy all those cards at the same time, just so you know. Also, my broadcast cards for Kihyun's Love Killa era are pretty expensive, and my Donghae Opera photo card, that one was pretty expensive, but it was still less than like those Wonho cards I just pointed out. If you saw my Wonho collection before he left Monsta X, like I probably had, I don't even think I had his Kingdom card before I left. I'm gonna have to go look. I had all of these because I've been collecting Monsta X and Wonho since debut. How do you describe the feelings that make you realize that a soloist or group are ults or your bias? So as far as ults go, like one of the red flags, if you will, that Monsta X was an ult for me. I honestly think that I ulted Monsta X since No Mercy ended, and I just like was in denial the first couple years of their career. But one of the things that made me like kind of side-eye at Monsta X and Wonho is the fact that I had all of these cards. Like these are tour cards, all of where they are, but these are tour cards. These are also tour cards. So the fact that I like wanted to collect stuff like this for Monsta X and for Wonho was a flag. It was a flag. It was a red flag. But yeah, the fact that I like have all this stuff, this is fan made, by the way. Is there anything else on here that's fan made? This is fan made. But it's because they released like a keychain Polaroid set right after. But the fact that I wanted to collect stuff like this, and like the fact that when they announced the Connect tour, I was like, I have to go. And like, I hadn't felt that way since I went to see Infinite in concert. But when Monsta X said they were coming to the US, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I'd only traveled alone for a concert once, which is funny because the first time I ever traveled alone for a concert, I traveled to New York City by myself. Like of all the things I could have done, because I was still in school in New England, and I just like went there, which is insane. Like, why did I do that? Because I'm dumb, that's why. I have to get the last Dreaming group card that I want still, which is kind of fun. I have this Kihyun coming still. The friend that's going to tour with me this summer is gonna bring it when she comes. But yeah, I think I might put these in an A5. And then maybe everything after this, I will take out and put in the other binder. Like I'll probably leave this in here. But let me take all of this out. Because these have like Wonho special cards, Kihyun special cards. Do I have another The Dreaming card coming? I did buy one recently. I did. I was like, why did I leave an empty space there? Did I buy something? I just don't remember. Yeah, okay, so let's move all of this out of here. And we might move, we might move some of it back in, just depending. That was not as graceful as I thought it was gonna be. Just depending on what it looks like. I'm gonna leave this here. I should replace this with a white piece of paper. Why have I never done that? What else can I answer? Do you have any thoughts about Monsta X renewing their contract? I got this question a couple times in here, so I guess I'll talk about that. So if you don't know, Monsta X's contracts are set to expire in May of this year. And before I get into my like personal thoughts, I will say that I believe they already renewed and we just haven't gotten news about it yet. Kihyun said they're booked through July. So like, I think that they renewed. And now I know a lot of people don't like Starship, and I also don't like Starship. But one thing that like I went into this year with is that like, I trust them to do what's right for them. We'll be okay with whatever decision they make. I think that they probably renewed, most of the time when idol groups renew their contracts, they don't renew for 7 years. They'll renew for like 3 or 4 years. and I don't know why I grabbed 2 of these. So I kind of went into this year and was like, I trust them. Like, whatever they want to do, we'll support it. But I don't think, like, I've never really thought that they would go their own separate ways this year. Not this year. I don't think that, like, they're going to all go to different places. Like, maybe I'll be completely wrong, but I have a feeling they already renewed and we just haven't heard about it yet officially. I also just wanted to say that Monsta X have a huge say in so much of their individual schedules, as well as what they do for their albums, as far as like concepts and title tracks. And ever since Maniac said that like he refused to make a comeback with a song during Gambler era and that they went with Jooheon's title track instead, they've been very open about like how much say they have in what they do these days. So I think that them leaving for a different company, they wouldn't really have that same freedom that they have at Starship right now. I think they have it pretty good there, as much as I hate Starship. And they also got a new CEO recently, so maybe he won't suck as bad. This is much better. Considering I still have to fill a lot of cards in here, I do feel better with it looking like this. Makes me much more comfortable. What program do you use to edit? Could you walk us through? I use Final Cut Pro. I used iMovie for a long time, but I used it in like the most difficult way possible. So if you don't like edit on iMovie, or if you've never edited on iMovie, basically you're very restricted in what you can do. There's ways to work around things. Like, I'll go ahead and have Carolyn, like editing Carolyn, put some text like at a random place on the screen right now. Doing that in Final Cut Pro is so much easier than doing that in iMovie. The reason I had iMovie for so long was because it would get the job done, and I never really, because I've been doing YouTube a long time, as y'all know, I never really felt the desire to do anything else until like 2021. I think is when I finally made the plunge, 2020 or 2021. Like I said, I was bored. COVID, very bored. COVID. But yeah, I think I made the plunge in 2021. But basically what I would do to have that similar effect on iMovie is I would type out whatever I wanted in the program that I use for photo editing, which I'll go ahead and like write what it's called. I think it's Photoscape is what it's called. And then I would change the file into a PNG file, which means that the background is transparent, and then I would import it as a photo. And it's just so complicated. It was like too much. Like, it was way too complicated to be doing it like that. And so I finally took the plunge and did Final Cut Pro. Really like Final Cut Pro. Basically my only, like, the way that I work on Final Cut is I'll import all the video files. I'll do my intro thing, which I wanna have like a real intro. I used to have a real intro, and then a couple of years ago I just like got rid of it. I want a new one. I'm gonna work on it this summer, I think, since I won't have school. Yeah, I gotta fill in this Keyhand collection a little bit at some point whenever they stop releasing stuff. But import the footage, go through all of it, and do what I call a rough cut, which I'm not the only person who calls it a rough cut. I don't know why I made it seem like I invented that, but basically I'll just like cut out all the empty space and empty area, and I don't really like watch it when I'm doing that. Like, sometimes I will, just to get like context and be like, oh, this was an area where I was just like putting photo cards away, which is why I wasn't talking. So let me go ahead and speed that up as like a time lapse real quick. And then I will go through and then do text and all that. So it kind of works better when I do that. Sometimes I try to do it all at once if I'm like in a rush to get something edited and uploaded. But if I'm taking a couple days to edit something, which is something I need to be better about, is like taking my time instead of doing it all in one sitting, because I do that a lot. I'll be like, I want to upload a video tomorrow, and then I'll just like edit the entire thing in a day, and it takes me like 6 hours. I would say that for my videos, it takes me about like it depends on what it is. Unboxings are like pretty easy to edit. Like they literally take me no time at all. There's not a lot happening in them. Videos like this where I'm like talking and explaining more, these videos will probably take like, for every minute of unedited footage, it takes me about 2 minutes to edit, I would say. So not like all at once, obviously, but like in total. And then I try to rewatch the video before. Oh, also I like put in the music before I start editing, because I found that in the past when I didn't do that, the video or the audio would be like not even, whereas like me talking would be much quieter than the music, so you couldn't really hear what I was saying. So that's how I edit pretty much. But there's still like room here, which is really nice. I'm pretty happy with this as well. Yeah, that's that. Is there anything else we need to do? Was that all I had to do? Really? Yeah, I wish I had an A5 so that I could put Wonho in an A5, or the Japanese cards in an A5, another A5 soon. Order one online. They become so popular that they're like kind of hard to find. Like people message me all the time and they're like, how do you, like, where do you get your binder? And I'm like, well, I got it here, but it's sold out here. So I don't know where else you can get it. But usually if you just Google it, it's fine. I know people get them off of like Rakuma, and like they use proxy services to get them. And like, I get that. It's probably cheaper. You know what the last thing we'll do is we'll put this page in for Wonho's Japanese cards. I did start this collection recently. One of the cards got canceled on me, but I am getting some soon. I really wanted to work on this, but oh man. All right, Wonho, please. We cannot. When did On the Way come out? Was it after Blue Letter? Or was it before Blue Letter? I think On the Way was before Blue Letter. He had black hair in On the Way. He had black hair here too. Maybe I'll just put it in the very back, like behind Obsession. I honestly thought this was gonna take me longer to do, this video, but it did not take me longer to do. Just fun. It's only 1:30 in the afternoon. Usually when I film these kinds of things, I finish at like 3 or 4. So it's pretty good. I have to go to the post office now and drop off a bunch of stuff. I haven't been to the post office in like 2 days. It's like a record for me. I haven't been since Saturday. Today's Tuesday. So yeah, it's been a long time. I wonder if they're worried about me. Yeah, I'm gonna go today. Last question, what was the hardest collection for you to downsize? The hardest collection that I downsized? Oh, I don't know. I think the first time I downsized Yeonjun, I was really sad about it. Which is why I ended up picking him back up again. Yeah, but I was really sad about that. I don't even know why I downsized Yeonjun. Oh, it's because I don't like TXT's like large photo cards. That was sad. Also, I used to collect GOT7's Youngjae. That was sad to downsize because I loved GOT7, but they just had too many cards for me to keep up with everything else I was collecting. And so I got so far behind, and then I was like, maybe I'll only do 2 cards. And then I was like, I don't like this. So I ended up downsizing them. Also downsizing Taeyang, my SF9 Taeyang collection. That was really sad, but he went to a good home. He's in Maria's binder now. Like literally my entire collection is in Maria's binder. So at least I get to see his cards sometimes. He had such pretty photo cards. I love that man. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you everybody who asked me questions on Instagram. Like I said, follow my trade sale, follow my trade sale Instagram, but also my normal Instagram. Because I do Q&As and stuff like that sometimes. And then, yeah, I'm excited to start having Wonho in his own binder. Like, I never really thought that he would have his own binder. I never really thought he would release as much as he has. And there's still, like, stuff I want from him. I just haven't gone and done it yet. There's, like, stuff from his, like FanCon that I missed the purchase period for his FanCon stuff because there was too much going on, and it's been really hard to find ever since. So there's definitely some of his FanCon stuff that I want, and Japanese stuff, Pobs, there's so much. So yeah, hopefully he takes his time with this next comeback, but he's already talking about like how amazing the song is, and I'm just like, Wonho, please have mercy. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. It's 56 minutes currently, so it's probably going to be a pretty long video, so I appreciate you if you watched through this. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.